Hey there, Super Conscious Success fam. Welcome back to another episode of my podcast. Now, let me just first premise to say that if you are listening to this via the podcast, via the audio, please remember to subscribe and also review the podcast if you have the opportunity. If you are watching this on YouTube, then please make sure that you subscribe to our channel and also like this video. That really helps with the algorithm. It really helps me to be able to create more content for you to enjoy when it comes to the topic of ascension and spirituality and manifestation and all those amazing topics that I'm going to be bringing to you in the coming future. So let's get into the topic of today, where we're actually going to be talking about matrix re-imprinting. This is something that has become pretty recently known to me. It's something that I guess in ways I've practiced, but I didn't actually realize that it was actually a technique. And so it's really about recreating that reality. So if any of you have ever experienced or you currently practice the art of emotional freedom technique, which by the way is incredible when it comes to emotions, and I'm actually in the process of creating a course on the Subconscious Success Academy on EFT, which will have a part in it to do with matrix re-imprinting. But I do want to preface to say that matrix re-imprinting can be quite intense, and it can be quite it can be something that is recommended that you do under the supervision of a therapist or a practitioner, because of the fact that it can be intense and you are dealing with emotions and healing. But through this podcast, I'm going to give you 5 basic steps towards the end as to how you can do matrix re-imprinting, even if it's just sort of like to get you started. So, as I said, emotional freedom technique, fantastic technique for helping to release those emotions that we may have experienced from past trauma. But this relatively new technique called matrix re-imprinting is actually an extension of EFT, and it was actually developed by a British therapist known as Carl Dawson. Now, this particular therapy utilizes the power of the mind-body connection to help people to let go of negative emotions and beliefs that may actually be holding them back. And let's face it, we've all got beliefs and negative emotions. We've all had traumas of some sort during our childhood. If we haven't, we're very lucky. But I believe these traumas and these things we go through are opportunities for us to grow, but we do need to let go of them, because as you'll see, it can cause some devastating effects if we don't. Now, when we have traumatic experiences in our past, the energy from those experiences can get trapped within our energetic field, causing disruptions and blocking the flow of chi within our body. Now, if you know anything about EFT, the tapping on the various acupressure points can actually help you to release these negative emotions. Whereas with matrix re-imprinting, this takes it just a little bit further. I suppose you could call it EFT advanced or something like that, because actually it has you incorporate your imagination and your visualization so that you can replace these old experiences with more new and positive ones. Now, matrix re-imprinting is actually based on quantum physics theory, which most of us are probably aware of, and it suggests that the universe is interconnected, and the past, the present, and the future, they all exist at the same time in the same energy field. There is no separation between the past, the present, and the future. It is our perception of it. And so we can change our past at any time. Now, when we access this energy field and we make changes to it, we're actually able to reshape our reality in an extremely powerful way. Now, research has shown that our minds and our bodies are intimately connected, as are our thoughts and our emotions. When our thoughts and our emotions get out of hand, it can have a powerful impact on our health and well-being. All you have to do is look at the topic of chronic stress. Now, chronic stress has been shown not only to weaken our immune system and create inflammation in our body, but also contribute to a whole host of other health problems. By releasing this chronic stress, we can actually start to promote the healing process. So what is it that matrix re-imprinting is actually able to help us with? So obviously the first thing it helps us with is to release negative emotions like anxiety and depression and anger and guilt. It helps to improve relationships by removing the emotional baggage and promoting forgiveness. And it also reduces stress and improves our overall well-being. Now, it's powerful for replacing limited beliefs with empowering ones, and at the same time helping us to boost our confidence and our self-esteem. However, one of the most amazing benefits of this technique is its ability to not only enhance our creativity and personal growth, but also help us with our spiritual growth, therefore helping with this topic of ascension. Now, when we begin to imagine our life in a more positive light, then we actually activate the same neural networks and regions of the brain that would be activated should you actually experience that event. So as I said, this is something, Matrix Reimprinting is something that I recommend you do under the supervision of a therapist or a practitioner, but you can sort of have a bit of a go at it if you like, if you know a little bit about EFT, and see how you go with these 5 steps. So step number 1, what I want you to do first is to identify an early trauma or an experience that is still affecting you from your past. Now, this particular event is still causing you discomfort, is still causing you emotional distress, and therefore interfering with your quality of life. Now, everybody's experience, everybody's emotional trauma is going to be different. And some people may experience traumas like schoolyard bullying. Other people might experience trauma like, childhood neglect. Other people might experience trauma like relationship breakups. And so everybody is going to be completely different, but they are traumas that are still affecting you as you go through your life. It's important at this point you remember these events and you be as specific as possible with it, and remember all of the emotions and the feelings that you're experiencing at that particular point in time. Once you've done that and you've figured out what event you're going to be working on, it's time to close your eyes and take a few deep breaths so that you can get yourself into that meditative state. Visualize a safe place where you can work on this without being interrupted. Try to go into your meditation nook or wherever you can go that you're not going to be disturbed for at least 5 to 10 minutes, sometimes longer depending on the event. With step number 3, it is now time to feel your emotions. So you really need to tap into those emotions that were associated with that event. Allow yourself to experience those emotions fully without any judgment, without any resistance, and make sure that when you do that, you observe these emotions from a place of detached awareness. So it's almost like you're actually looking down upon yourself while you're actually experiencing it. Now, once you've done that, it's time to rewire those negative emotions and beliefs. And this is when EFT process starts to happen and you begin to tap on those various acupressure points in the body while vocalizing the positive affirmations that counteract those negative emotions and beliefs. For instance, if this particular event caused you to feel guilt surrounding it, then an affirmation you could use would be, I forgive myself for my past mistakes. Okay, and then with step 5, what I want you to do is to visualize a positive outcome to replace this negative emotion and belief. At this point, you want to begin to visualize a new reality where the event either never happened or where you were able to handle it in a much more positive way. Remember that as we visualize, then our brain cannot tell the difference between what we're visualizing and what has actually happened. So we can rewire that process by changing what has happened in the past to what we visualize to actually have happened. And that can change our emotions and those trapped emotions that have been caught within us. Now, they call it Matrix Reimprinting because as we're going down to that event and that traumatic experience, we can actually envision ourselves within a matrix, within kind of like this bubble. The event is actually happening, but we're observing it from above, or we're observing ourselves talking to that particular version of ourselves, to that inner child, to that person that experienced the event, and we show them the love and we show them the comfort and we show them kind of like inner child healing, I suppose. And so we're actually with them at that particular point in time as we experience that event. Like I said, it can be quite complicated, but it is a really interesting and a really great way to be able to reinvent your past and to be able to reprogram it. Because remember, we are a result of our programs. We are a result of of our belief systems. And so we need to reprogram what we believe to have happened to what we would have liked to have happened instead. So there you go. That is Matrix Reimprinting. I hope you've really enjoyed this episode, and I look forward to chatting to you in the next one. Thanks very much. Bye.